Happy New Year from Catskill Mountain Homebody. I hope everyone's having a nice New Year's Eve. Okay, I can only wear those for 2 seconds. I hope everyone is having a wonderful New Year's Eve. It is New Year's Eve day. I am not going to start cooking until a little while from now. So I'll be showing you today how I make my cheese sausage with peppers and onions and warm bread. And that's going to be one of the things we're doing tonight. But on New Year's Eve, I don't start cooking until later because we eat dinner later because we stay up till midnight. So we're going to eat dinner around 8 o'clock. So I don't need to really rush for dinner. And we have a lot of food for lunch. Well, if you didn't see the short I made of Chipper wearing those 2023 glasses, I'll put it in right now. As you can see from that clip, those glasses did not stay on his head more than 20 seconds, and I had to keep his head up with my hand because he has such a short nose. So that lasted all of 20 seconds. I didn't try to put them on Scouty. He has a longer nose, so maybe they'll stay on better. But Scout definitely is more skittish when it comes to putting things on him than Chipper is. Chipper's a little bit more agreeable when I dress him up. Scout, though, for some reason, really doesn't like anything on his face or a hat on his head. Chipper is a sport. He'll play along, but eventually he will take everything off. So those were some cheap 2023 glasses that I picked up at Walmart before Christmas for like $3. We'll put them on for some pictures later, and that's about it. Chipper is so excited for the new year. He can't wait. He's going to play with his new toys all day. Actually, that's not a new toy. And Scouty is mellow in his little crate, sleeping on his little mat. Not excited about the new year at all. Chipper's much more excited about it. So I'm going to be walking you guys through how I make my sausage and peppers and onions tonight. I'm going to be using my air fryer, which is behind me. And by the way, I decided to wear a sweatshirt Joe got me for Christmas. My little paw print heart sweatshirt with a little heart on the sleeve, which is so cute. So this is something else Joe had gotten me for Christmas because I love my pups. And I decided to wear earrings that Joe bought me when we were dating. This was in probably 1995. He bought these for me, but I'll show you them. They're little angels with a little pearl hanging down. And these are gold. But these are actually not costume jewelry. These are good earrings that Joe bought me years and years ago when we were dating. I still remember where we bought them. We bought them in Dillard's department store in Flagstaff, Arizona, when we were living out west. And so they have a little real pearl, and they're gold. We didn't spend that much for them. We didn't have that much money to spend for them back then, but I think it was like a birthday gift or a Christmas gift. I don't remember, but I did pick them out because I thought the little angel was so cute, and I do like to wear them at the holidays. So that's my earring choice for New Year's Eve. I don't have any New Year's Eve jewelry, so I figured an angel fit in with the Christmas season. All right, I have to go walk Chipper. When we come back, I will be preparing the peppers, and I'll talk about what we're making for dinner. All right, well, we just survived a power outage on New Year's Eve, but it wasn't even a blackout, it was a brownout. So some of our lights were dimly on, but I had my candles on because it started to get dark outside, and I wasn't sure if we were gonna be able to make our New Year's sausage dinner. It might have been a New Year's Day dinner at the rate we were going. However, we made it. The dogs are done with their nap. They're ready for New Year's Eve. They're eating their dinner now. All right, well, New Year's Eve dinner, we always eat late anyway. It's still way early. I did get a chance to wash my peppers. So I did wash the peppers off. And again, this looks like a lot, but it's actually not a lot. I'm probably gonna need to go buy more peppers later in the week because we're gonna have leftover sausage and we're gonna eat all these peppers. These peppers are gonna cook down. So it'll be enough for dinner for us tonight, but not for leftovers. I have a few onions that I've also pulled out. So I'm going to be using my butcher block table to cut up all of these peppers. And we're going to put them into a big bowl in preparation for air frying in a little while. Let me clear off my butcher block table so I can start cutting all these peppers. the onions and peppers chopped and ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna cook this up in the air fryer, and I'm gonna preheat the oven for the sausages. So we're gonna eat after 7. It's gonna take several batches in the air fryer to fry up that huge amount of peppers and onions. But one thing I'm gonna do with my air fryer, let me show you. I'm not gonna be using this insert at all. This is more for like fried shrimp or chicken. We're not using this, we're just gonna use the basket. So I'm gonna be putting this away. Or maybe I'll just stick it right here so it stays clean. And that's where it's gonna stay. So we're only using this basket. You don't wanna overload your air fryer. I'm not gonna put that gigantic thing of onions and peppers into this basket. I'm gonna have to do little at a time. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna preheat this air fryer at 390 degrees. Take some of my peppers and onions. I'm gonna oil them, a little bit of oil, little salt and pepper, and I'm gonna put them in here. I have a couple pans ready for the sausage. So this is just my glass dish that will catch a lot of the cheese and the grease. So I'm gonna fit one pinwheel in here. Then I have a baking tray. Again, it has a lip to it, so it should catch the grease. And I'm gonna fit 1 or 2 pinwheels on here. So I don't know if I'm gonna make all the 5 pinwheels tonight. I might save some for tomorrow. But I'll make at least 3 tonight. And if I have to take out another tray, I will. But I think I should be able to fit 3 on here. So those are gonna cook in the oven. I'm gonna put it on probably 375 for at least 40 minutes, and we'll see how it looks after 40 minutes. When the sausage is cooked, I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna put the Italian bread in the oven for a few minutes to warm up, and I'm gonna make a tomato burrata salad. In this video, I'm not gonna go over the burrata salad because I already have a video up that I made over the summer when I went over how to make that, so I'll just link that video below. So I'm only gonna show you the after of the burrata salad, but it's gonna be delicious with the sausage and peppers, onions, and the Italian bread from Uncle Giuseppe's. So I'll meet you back here when I'm ready to air fry. Getting ready to fry. I pulled out 2 other bowls. I have 3 metal bowls out. I have many metal bowls, by the way. So this is the metal bowl that I already have my chopped peppers and onions. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this into this bowl, and I'm gonna put salt and pepper and a little bit of olive oil over the peppers and onions. And then I'm gonna transfer that to the basket of my air fryer. I'm gonna air fry them till they're fried. When they're all done, I'm gonna transfer them to this big bowl, cover it with tin foil to keep warm while I fry the rest of this. In the meantime, I'm gonna preheat my oven to 375 so I can start cooking my sausages, because it's now 6 o'clock and I wanna, be ready to eat closer to 7. All right, the other thing I did was I put a little Pam spray on the bottom of my air fryer basket. And that's just so the peppers and onions don't stick to the bottom. Remember, I removed the tray. I don't need the tray part on the air fryer. Okay, I am gonna use olive oil to fry these peppers and onions. If you don't have olive oil, you can use regular vegetable oil, whatever corn oil you have, vegetable oil. But I'm gonna use olive oil, which I think gives it more flavor. But I have fried these in regular oil before and they taste good also. So I'm gonna transfer some, again, it doesn't matter. because it's all going to get mixed together in the same bowl anyway. But I'm just going to take a couple handfuls of peppers and onions, and I'm going to put it into this bowl. And again, you don't want to fry too much at a time. So I'm going to season this with some regular salt and pepper and a little drizzle of olive oil. I'm just going to use my table salt and my table pepper. Now you don't need to drown this in oil. You just want a little bit of oil. All right, I'm going to use my hands, which I've washed, to mix all the oil up and the salt and pepper in. That's all the seasoning you need. You don't need anything else but a little salt, a little pepper, a little olive oil. All right, let's preheat the air fryer. It's preheating. All right, I got my air fryer preheating and my oven preheating for the sausages. I already made the burrata and tomato salad, which I showed you. All I did was slice some tomatoes. I seasoned the tomatoes with a little salt, pepper, the burrata in the middle, little olive oil, a little balsamic spray, and then we'll open it up at the table and it'll be perfect with dinner with the sausage and peppers. So I'm gonna wait for the beep on my air fryer. In about 5 minutes, I'm gonna start to put the sausage in the oven to cook. That's gonna need probably 40 minutes. So that's kind of where we are right now with New Year's Eve dinner. Again, dinner will be closer to 7. We do eat a little later on New Year's Eve. Actually, some years we eat 8, 9 o'clock at night. But this year it's gonna be a little bit earlier. Just because of the brownout, I just wanna make sure things are cooked so that we can eat our dinner before anything happens with the power again, because I don't really know what happened with the power. Good thing I'm not having a big party tonight. It's just a small New Year's Eve with me, myself, Joe, and Julius. So, but it still will be a delicious meal. And I'm looking forward to it, actually. It's gonna be a delicious Uncle Giuseppe's, the last meal of 2022. I hope that you guys are all having a happy New Year with your friends and family. If you like this kind of video, consider subscribing. A lot of my videos are on decorating my farmhouse, a little bit about what we're doing on the property, and a lot of cooking, some of which are my Italian recipes from my family, or just favorite meals that we like to make. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing to my channel, Catskill Mountain Homebody. All right, when we come back, I'm gonna start frying the peppers and onions in the air fryer. This is fried for 6 minutes. I'm gonna give it a toss with my tongs. Okay. I'm gonna put it back in another 6 minutes. All right, so let me show you what I fried so far. I've covered it with tin foil. That's what I fried so far. So I'm just beginning. I have my next batch of peppers and onions oiled and salt and peppered, ready to go. After this one comes out, this should be done. It's gonna count down 6 minutes. And I still have this left to fry. This is everything I have left to fry, so it's gonna be quite a few batches. In the meantime, I did put my sausages in the oven. I have the timer set for 25 minutes. I'm gonna flip them. I'm gonna put the top one on the bottom one on the top, and let it cook another at least 20 minutes, maybe longer. I have to check those. They really you need to see the cheese coming out of it and the top browned. So I kind of have to eyeball how long I cook it, but I'll know when I see it. So, and then once I pull the sausages out, I'm gonna cover them, let them sit while I pop the bread in the oven to warm up. But in the meantime, I have to keep frying all of these peppers and onions. So this bowl is metal and it will stay warm. These peppers and onions will stay warm until we eat them in about maybe 35 minutes. So you just keep them, you just keep frying. When you're done, you put them in here and they will keep warm covered until you're ready to eat dinner. I'm just gonna keep going with frying in the air fryer. By the way, the air fryer is amazing. I used to use 3 or 4 frying pans and fry the peppers and onions, and it would make a big mess of oil everywhere. When my husband bought me this air fryer a couple years back, it was at Christmas time, and I used it for Christmas Eve for frying fish, And I used it on New Year's Eve when we made this dinner with the sausage and peppers and onions. I used it for the peppers and onions, and I loved it. I'm never going back to using 5 frying pans with oil spraying all over the walls and all over the kitchen. I'm never going back to that. So this air fryer is so much easier to clean. It keeps the mess contained. All you do is pop it out, put it in the dishwasher. I'm done cleaning. I don't have to wash frying pans. My stove isn't covered in oil. And it's so much better, I promise you. The air fryer is so much better to use than the traditional way that I used to do it years ago. Okay, I just want to point out, this has been 12 minutes. Look how some of it looks crispy, like it was fried on the stove. That's what you want. You want it to be a little browned, not burned to a crisp, but you do, you know, see how the edges are just a little bit browned? That's perfect. So I'm going to put this into my bowl with my cooked peppers and onions, and I'm going to cook the next batch. Okay, I just pulled these out of the oven. They were bubbly and juicy, and you can see how they're brown. So I'm going to cut these off these skewers and put them in a covered bowl and keep them warm until all the peppers and onions are done. All the peppers are done. I'm going to be pulling out my sausage, my last sausage out of the oven, and then I'm going to put this bread in for about 15 minutes. And then dinner is served, and I'll show you the burrata salad, the bread, the sausage, the peppers, and it's going to look amazing. So thank you for joining me on this New Year's Eve 2022. I hope that you all have a lovely New Year's Eve evening. A happy and healthy 2023. All right, so stay tuned to see the whole meal pulled together.